truth of the matter, call these guys, have a dialogue with them. What are you doing? Let me see your expertise. Let me see your experience in this field. We can equip them and see how things can come out. Issue of this fuel issue is frustrating me because I am still imagining how we'll start buying fuel 700 per liter. You understand? So this government wants to put the incoming government into trouble. You've been in power for over 7 years plus. You've not come up with this palliative you are talking about, removal of the subsidy. It is when you are about to go, you say you want to remove it and leave the incoming government to be blamed for. I think the incoming government will think twice before taking that decision. Thank you very much, Mr. Energy.
Thank you very much, Haruna. I appreciate you calling in. Will the next administration, actually go on with the removal of subsidy? Especially, in its early days, or would it wait as well till it's about to leave before they finally remove the subsidy? Because we know we've seen successive governments make promises and they are unable to fulfill those promises. Now, what would it be? Talking about setting agenda, do Nigerians need subsidy removal now, or rather, do they want palliatives? Especially when it comes to the conditional cash transfers and all that stuff. Is that what you need as a Nigerian? Or would you prefer to, like Haruna said, set up refineries, all that stuff? Also, personally, I'm looking at a situation where, look, I'm tired of having Nigerian soldiers, security operatives die needlessly. I'm tired of having a situation where Nigerians are abducted and killed needlessly for any reason, whether banditry, herdsmen clashes, I'm tired of it. And this is a problem that could be solved. It can be. There's no problem that cannot be solved. There are places in the world where there were issues like this many years ago. They were solved. Even in Africa. Why is it difficult for the quote-unquote giant of Africa to sort out these problems? I was at a comedy show last night, and this comedian said something, struck me. He said, Nigeria, as the most populous black nation in the world, should be a place of refuge for all black people in the world, rather than be the ones that are refugees across the world. Nigerians are scampering, leaving their country that harbors the highest number of black people to go and populate other countries where black people are even trying to run away from. Come on, we can do better. We really can do better as a people. It behooves you and the government. It's not enough to elect people. It's not enough to go to the polls and vote. All right? How are you engaging with those people that you voted in? Look, when we say it's important that every Nigerian, whether small or old or young, especially if you're up to the age of 18, you should be a member of a political party. Because that's where you can have your voice actually heard. That's where you can have a real voice. And it's when I say become a member of a political party, we do not mean that you go there and go and, become those who are begging for alms. You actually participate in the process. Get a job, okay? Whatever it is, do business, whatever. We all know that the economy is hard, but we cannot continue to complain. We need to be a part of the process. Now, you may not be running for office, but you have a stake. We saw what happened during the primaries in the political parties. A lot of people were bought over. Why don't you go into those parties and be the ones who would say, you know what, we don't need your dollars. What we need is to fix our country. Let them hear you at that stage. If they're able to hear you at that point, when they get in there, they know that they would not mess up, because if they do, they won't get your mandate, they won't get your votes, even from the primary stages anymore. The conversation continues. Keep it here.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Only 100 naira, you enter. Anybody can beat. If you win your bid.
You get what you want buy, but you don't get money. Microwave, TV, and you want pay never bill. Download Yanga from any online store. With 100 naira, fund your wallet. Choose a plan for your Get Pass. Start spinning and winning. The player with the highest number wins the bid. Anything when you want buy, you can bid it and win it. Yanga Bid, Nigeria's online marketplace.
You can call us on 091 3000 2014. 091 3000 2014.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. 102.3 Abuja.
(9:35) is the time. Thank you so much for staying with us on your radio experience. You can count on this. It's the Monday. It's holiday. People are having a good time, and it's a good time for us to talk about where we are as a nation and where we want to be, where we see ourselves. Earlier, I was talking about how Nigeria, that is supposed to be a place of refuge for all the black people, is the country where its citizens are running away to other countries where it may not even be. So, may never even be so well for other black people. Running to countries where racism is high. Imagine that. Where Nigerians would rather die abroad in other countries than die in their own country. It's sad. It's a nation that should provide for other African countries. Now, look at this. I feel like the fear for many Nigerians is hunger. Nigerians fear hunger a lot, which is why they would rather beg politicians to give them peanuts or take peanuts from politicians because they're afraid of hunger. But guess what? It is not only what do you call it now? Hunger is not only famine that causes hunger. There are other natural causes that can lead you to hunger. In fact, war can drive you into severe hunger. Most of the countries dealing with, or ranking high in the global hunger index are countries that have suffered war and conflicts. Currently, Nigeria is in a danger zone when it comes to food insecurity because of Boko Haram and the likes. So rather than go and collect money from politicians because you're hungry or you fear hunger, how about you stand up and do the right thing? Prevent hunger in the future, because if insecurity continues to drive us further in the hunger index, global hunger index, then someday there might just be an even bigger problem that would make you hungry and even starve. Some people will starve to death as a result of war and violence. So why don't you prevent
Hello,
that?
my prince.
Hello, good morning. Take me. Okay, wrap up your thoughts.
Yeah, my prince, this Hungi, yes, calling back. The network, was not friendly to me. Yes, like I was saying, security top my own agenda. Even if we build all the roads, put AC in all the bus stops, and there are no human beings to enjoy those things, it will be useless. So we need to be alive for us to be able to enjoy those facilities. So one thing is that, like Kuka have said, infrastructure for me should take a far back seat, a very far back seat, and security should top the agenda. The incoming government must make sure they stop the killing of innocent Nigerians all over the country, from the south, from the east, from the west to the center. And those people that have the mind to sponsor killing against the Nigerian people, they must be brought to book. If the government cannot do this, then I don't think they may succeed, because there can be no development in the face of insecurity. If they cannot solve insecurity, investors will not come. If they cannot solve insecurity, farmers cannot go to the farm. Just like you are saying, my prince, a lot of countries that top the index for hunger, they are countries that are going through wars, a conflict. And if you don't know, my prince, we are in the midst of war, in Nigeria. Our farmers cannot go to the farm anymore. It's either the herdsmen, they will kidnap them, or they will butcher them there. Or the bandits, they will kidnap our farmers and they will ask for ransom. And secondly, I want to say that the incoming administration, they must open the border, my prince. You see, we're not producing enough. So the present administration, surprised me by going to close the border and allow smuggling. Anything that is smuggled will be expensive. I remember when the president was not feeling fine and he traveled out, the acting president, Osibajo, opened border for 2 weeks, and the price of rice was even coming down. As Buhari came back, they locked the border again, encouraging smuggling. So at the moment, we're not producing enough. So you cannot go and shut the border to make sure that rice will not come in. Let Nigerians eat food. And third, I want to say one thing, that the incoming administration, they should not go for, a vendetta game. They should not go for, people that has worked against them. They should embrace unity, peace, and progress from the south, from the west, from the east. The government should be a government for all Nigerians. It should not be a government for some people. So that at the end of the day, others will not feel left out. And again, I want to appeal to the incoming government. They should make sure that hence the number one and the number two, they are the same faith. A lot of people have been worried. Let them not go for a Senate president. That will be the same faith with the president and the vice president. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Taking Me. Back to that conversation again. Faith and no faith. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Abdullahi Mekano. What would you have this next administration do for you? Okay, first of all, put down the volume of your radio, Abdullahi, so we can hear you.
Sincerely speaking, the politicians of today are using divide and rule tactics in order to keep ruling Nigerians and keep us into darkness. I don't think any bright future for Nigeria. I'm praying for my country because I have no any other country like Nigeria, but there is no bright future for this country. My reasons are as follows. First, we don't have patriotic leaders and trustworthy leaders in this country. We all know that those in the top level, those who are leading the country, they are not patriotic and they are not trustworthy. We know this one now. There is no doubt about that. And secondly, we are also using the opportunity to keep dividing people. Look at now, Nigeria is more divided now. Say the truth, no matter how hard it is, Nigeria is more divided than before. What is the problem? And the killing now continues, and the poverty increased on daily basis. And now they are trying to remove the fuel subsidy. So when you look at the Nigerian problems, on the table, there is no solution for Nigeria. And the leaders are not ready for the country. Look at it now. People are dying on daily basis, but they are talking of leadership national assembly. They are talking of who is going to be this minister, this and that. This is their main focus. Look at it now. If they are focusing on the people now, they could have not allowed killings, kidnapping to continue in Nigeria now. But hundreds of people can die in a single day in this country, and the politician will keep holding their political conferences day and night. They will go ahead and calling themselves and meet somewhere, making their conferences. They doesn't care. Even thousands of people will die in this country. As a human, as somebody who is a reasonable and educated, reason this. Are you in this world? Where do you think such things can happen in this planet? Are we in this world? Where do you think hundreds of people can be killed in a single day? And the no shaking, all the leaders of the country will be enjoying themselves, holding a political meeting without even any reasonable thought. Has this ever happened in any country in this world, apart from Nigeria? So we are just deceiving ourselves when we say we have any hope on our leaders. I'm telling you the truth, sir. We are deceiving ourselves. Let's tell ourselves the truth. There is no hope.
Abdullahi, now that we have a new administration coming in, what would you rather have them do? What would you want them to? What area of this country would you want them to fix?
Sir, they are the same people, because the people who brought the outgoing administration, they are the ones coming in now. They are the same people, sir. They are the same people.
So you don't think that there could be any change? You don't think that there could be anything
Sir, there will be no change. They are the same people, the same father, the same mother. There will be no change.
All right, Abdullahi. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Now, let's get to some messages received here. This one, you didn't add your name, but you say, "Good morning, my prince, the Radio Highness. Please help us share the acclaimed $800 million to 300 million Nigerians." Well, let's, how much would it be? Or how much would one get? So let's do a quick math. My math is not so good, but during the, on my arithmetic, whatever it is, it's not so good. But then if we're good to go by 200 million Nigerians, right? And we have 800 million. If we divide that on $800 million, that would bring us to about $4 per person, right? And if we had to convert that to Naira, $4, going by the black market rate, it's about 700 Naira, right? That would mean that each person may get around 2,800 Naira. Now, don't forget that the government is not even saying that it's going to be distributed amongst 200 million Nigerians. The target is 50 million Nigerians, about 10 million households. Okay? If that's the case, it means that the rest of you, maybe 100 million, 150 million of you can, you're on your own, as the case may be. So even the 2,800 naira you may not get. And if we're going by the official exchange rate of 450 naira, 400 naira or so, we should get, maybe if that's what that was going to be distributed amongst or shared between 200 million people, it would come to around 1,800 or so. So it's really nothing to write home about, if you ask me. So how about we channel our energy into something more productive rather than distributing money? Hello, good morning, Okechukwu.
Thank you, Yanato. Good morning. My name is Okechukwu.
Good to have you, Okechukwu.
Thank you. You see, we are talking about the incoming administration. We should wait. The case is still in the court. We're not even supposed to talk about it for now, so that the court will decide. Because this election, everybody saw how it goes. When the court may decide it the way in the other way around. So we should wait so that the court, because this the election was not, to me, it was not peaceful and it was not successful. You understand? So if the court decided whoever won the election, then we will not start speaking for the next administration.
Okay, Chico, it doesn't matter who becomes next president of this country. What we're saying is entirely set agenda for the next administration, whether the court decides otherwise or we're talking about having a new government, whether we like it or not. Come May 29, there's going to be a handover. And whoever it is that we're handing over to, that this administration will be handing over to, needs to know what Nigerians want and how to go about fixing the country for them. All right? Thank you.
So we are just watching.
What would it be for you? What would be your priority? What would you want them to take as priority as a Nigerian?
Thank you. My priority is that if they are coming, the next administration should come. They should do the right thing. Like this insecurity. You see, the insecurity in the country is too. I don't even know what to say about it. It's something that if the next administration did not buckle their belt, I don't think it's overpowering the current president. Everywhere is insecurity, killing. So I don't know how they will tackle it. They should just come out with sincere and let Nigeria know their plans, so that Nigeria will support them. But if they come out with this propaganda, start blaming past administration, I don't think they will have any equity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling in. Let's bring in another caller. Hello, good morning. Yes.
Agriculture.
Okay.
Then, I don't know where to position the fight against corruption. You know this $800 million we just talk about? That money, I'm sorry to say, much part of it is stolen. We don't have database. They say we have register. If you look at that register, you want to tell me that all of them are still alive? How would they know if somebody from the register is dead or alive? Signatories to that account that they are passing the money through. See, these things are very easy if you do the right thing. It's very, very fast.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, ID Noble. Now let's analyze the $800 million that would be distributed to 50 million Nigerians as palliative for the removal of subsidy. So we're going to remove a whole subsidy that a lot of Nigerians are enjoying, and we're going to replace that with 800 million as, as a buffer or, cushion for the effect of removal of subsidy. Now, if you do the math, $800 million divided by 50 million people, that would come to about 11,200 naira. That would come to about $16, right? Convert that with the black market rates. it would mean that one person in the 50 million people who would get the money, who would, quote unquote, who are supposed rather to get the money, would get 11,200 naira. What would 11,200 naira do? Would it pay their transport for the next 1 year? Would it help them, manage the inflation that's going to result from the removal of subsidy? Because it's common knowledge that once the cost of fuel goes up, every other thing in this country goes up, right? So would 11,200 naira be able to buy them food for 1 month? Would they be able to pay your transportation for 1 month? It's a question. I'm just asking. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Prince Ayenacho.
Good morning.
This is Haruna calling back.
Haruna, I'll give you 1 minute. We're wrapping up the conversation here.
Okay. Well, answer to your question, even 100,000 cannot solve an individual problem in this country. With the high cost to build the refinery, that is the simple solution.
Okay.
Then finally, Prince Ayenacho, what I want this incoming administration should do for me, they should tackle insecurity. If they tackle
a priority. So instead of thinking of maybe constructing or building roads and all that stuff, focus on insecurity. A lot of people seem to agree with Bishop Kuka, who says, well, it's only the living that can enjoy infrastructure. If we're alive, then we can talk about infrastructure. No, when people are dying, let's fix insecurity, and that would be it. Well, put this on record, okay? If I was saying earlier, it is not only poverty or a bad economy that can throw you into hunger, that can lead to hunger. So instead of being afraid of hunger, be afraid of what could result from injustice, what could result from nepotism and discrimination, and pushing other people to the fringes. What could result from people feeling marginalized? What are all that? War can throw this country into hunger, throw a lot of people, hundreds of millions of people into hunger. It could throw you to hunger. Famine, natural causes, natural disasters. If flooding isn't tackled, Nigeria is already battling a whole lot of, food insecurity. We may not be able to even feed ourselves in the next 10 years if we don't take care of insecurity and we don't take care of issues like flooding. So how about you stop fear, kill that fear of hunger and face the real things. Hold your politicians to account rather than beg them when they come around and, throw yourself to the ground and hail them and sing their praises just so that you can get money for food. Organize yourselves in your communities. Come up with a charter and tell them what it is that you want. Hold them to account from your local government up until the governor of your state, House of Representative members, that state assemblies, up to the National Assembly. Hold them to account. Tell them what it is that you want. Come up with a charter. In some states, it's happening. They're coming together and telling the government what it is that they want. Hold your government to account. Don't go around begging because you're hungry. Have some dignity and have some pride as a Nigerian. Again, Nigeria cannot be a place where Nigerians are running away from. It should be a place that should provide refuge. We're so blessed, we should be providing succor to other people, not running away because of hunger. Stay with us on your radio experience. You can count on Business News is up next, and right after that, it would be time for the Media Extra to take over proceedings. My name is Iheanacho Prince, His Radio Highness of Abuja, and I urge you to have a very fantastic holiday, at least what's left of it.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.